Good morning, everybody. I am already at work. Thanks for coming in. I thought I had pressed go live a little bit earlier, but I didn't, sorry. Just a lot on my mind right now. Hey, Summer Breeze. Hey, Cher. Hey, T. Welcome in. I'm doing some stenciling on this journal that I'm about to finish up. Good morning, Jessica. Oh, hang on. I know you're probably at work. Hang on. I gotta ask. I'm about ready to get started on the cover, and I've got a couple of choices for you for the fabric on the outside. Actually, I've got 3 or 4 choices, so hang on just a second, darling. I don't want to move this prematurely till I get everything on there. Hey, Tin Cap. All right, let's see. The reveal. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. Okay, so we'll put this over here and wash it later, along with the brush. Yeah, I like that. I like that pretty well. Okay, so choices for the cover are, I've got this one, which is really kind of pretty. So this is one, and then this one here, I love this fabric. This is like, I have saved it, and I haven't used it for anything. I thought I would use it for bowl cozies once upon a time. This is just so pretty. It's everything that I like, you know? And then I've also got some script fabric. Now, I can also, oh, let me show you what else. One of the things I'm going to embellish it with, Jessica, is the cover. I'm probably going to tea stain or not tea stain, but coffee stain these before I put them on. But so the thing with this fabric, which is, you know, like I said, I just love this fabric. The thing with this fabric, though, is that these won't really stand out that well. You know what I'm saying? You like this one? It's the teacup and that stand out really well on this, but then I would coffee dye these. So you like this one. The script is definitely out. And then of course, we're going to do, I would tea stain these so that, because you had asked me to do this trim on the sides. Hey, Pen. So these will be, so the cover would look something like, I don't know, let me see. This. on this one, it would look like this. But remember, I'm gonna tea stain these. So is it still the butterfly one or the tan? Either one is a good choice. I know. That's why I'm putting it on you, girl. And we don't have to use these. I've got other appliques I can use, but I thought since you said you like teapots that I would do that. The one with the pink. Okay, that's the one we're gonna do then. And I've got just enough of this to do your journal. So this is all for you. Okay. Go. And I'll probably get that cut out, if not later this afternoon, then by tomorrow for sure. And this is where we left off yesterday. And I just added that, and then of course I just finished the stencil on that. Okay, and I thought I would do a little something on here. Or. I like that best. I do. I really do like that best. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you're pleased with it so far. Get my squishy out because I don't want to mess this up. And if I didn't get it out, I'm sure I would probably mess it up. So Tin Cat is on here, and tomorrow she is doing a D-stash tomorrow evening at 6. So be sure that you tune in. She's going to have all kinds of pretties for you. And then I'm going to be doing a D-stash tomorrow. No, it's tonight. Tin Cat, if you're in here, I'm sorry, I'm at tonight at 6 o'clock. Okay, so I got messed up again on the days because of the Monday was the 30th, and then the 1st was Tuesday, and I always want everything to line up. Like, the 1st should be on a Monday every month, right? Or at least on a Sunday. You're welcome, Tin Cat. So there's that. Y'all tune in. Plenty of opportunities. And oh, and Pen Poo's not doing a live this week. Okay, I think I knew that. I think I knew that, didn't I? Probably. Okay, so I kind of like that. Let's just leave that like that. So I always leave I have this little china cup. I got it at the Goodwill. It was just sitting there all by itself. It's got chips on it. Nobody wanted it. It's a Haviland and Company Limoges. So anyway, I brought it home, and because when I leave my baby wipes laying around, I like to use them more than one time. I just put my baby wipes in this cup, and that way I have them and I can use them more than once. So that's just a little hint if you're working with stamps, especially, because it's always good to wipe them off after you put, and I didn't on this one yesterday. Oh, bad girl, bad girl. After you put ink on them. And some inks are water soluble, which means you can add water to them and they will, like the distress ink, you can add water to it even after it's dried and it will it will move. But there's some inks, like the archival ink, it's a permanent ink. And so because I used archival pink on this stamp, even though I washed it and wiped it off, it's not going to come off. So that's how you tell that. In case. Okay. Put it away. Not using that right now. Oh, here we go. So yeah, some of my stamps that are colored, it's not that I haven't taken care of them, it's just that I used permanent ink. So there's that. Okay, I think we're good. Well, you know what? I think I might put a couple of little pearls on here. Just because I can. So yeah, before I... Okay, let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Aren't these cute? These cute little music notes, buttons. A friend of mine sent them to me. And I'm going to do a music journal. I'm getting a hankering to do a music journal. Yep, a hankering. Anybody else get a hankering? Oh yeah, I was going to do some pearls on here. Why isn't this moving? I don't know. Maybe it's because I filled up my bottles this morning. Okay. Up and up, down. I don't know how those people do it, that they actually use their tweezers to put the little dots on. It never works for me. The little dots just kind of leave out of the tweezers. See, it just doesn't. It's not as clean a thing as most people show on their videos. Unless you're using dots that don't have adhesive on them. And I always feel like I have to put adhesive on them when I'm using them because I'm afraid that the adhesive isn't gonna stick very long. And I want this to stick for as long as it possibly can. Stick to my finger. Okay, there's that one. I think I'm gonna do a little bit different on this one over here. If I still have any left. Do I have any of the little tiny ones left? I think this is it. Okay. Yay! Imagine work calling you Tank Cap. How rude. Whoops. Oof. I broke it. Do I need to call him and tell him not to bother you when you're watching my live? Don't bother her when she's on live, on TikTok live with me. Sticky, sticky. Well, you gotta have fun. All right. Get this in a somewhat better arch, if I can. There. Lace and pearls. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I think I don't want to close that. I don't want to close it because probably I will mess it up. It's not dry yet. So we'll just stick it over there for the moment. So, yeah. My little... And they dry out in here. Sometimes you can still get some good use out of them when they're dry. But yeah, this poor little cup, it was all by itself. China, real china. I love teacups. I love teapots. Sunflowers. I like all flowers, I really do. Sunflowers are my very favorite. Dogs. Hey Karen, thank you. All right, let's do some little things, little ephemera to tuck into these spots that we got. It's not going to be anything too fancy because the spots are little. So I thought I would corner around these and give them a little bit of distressing. Did y'all catch, was it last night Britt was on and she was burning the edges of the papers? And I was like, if I did that here, my smoke alarms would be going off. They're so sensitive. I can't fry anything. Or if my grease gets just a little bit too hot and it smokes, smoke alarms go off, and when the smoke alarms go off, My poor dogs. They start howling because, you know, their ears are much more sensitive than ours, and it actually hurts my ears. And then, you know, you have to keep pushing that, button on the thing until, I think what I might do, make these a little bit stronger. I'll glue a couple of them together because this is paper. Mine and Tin Cats are your favorite sunflowers? I'm not sure. Your favorite creators? Thank you. Channels. Oh, thank you, thank you. That reminds me, I finally did get yesterday's live uploaded onto the YT, my YT channel. I don't know what was going on, but TikTok did not want to download it. And then uploading it, it wouldn't upload. You know, it goes on there for hours and hours and hours. And yeah, crazy. But I finally did. I got it this morning. So if there's anything that you saw that you want to look at again, go on over to my YouTube. Oh, I'd love it if you'd follow me there too, or subscribe, I guess is what they call it there. There, I think that'll be a good thing. And use it like a tutorial. Oh, what's for lunch? You know, I kind of don't do lunch, but I am hungry too. I made a peach and blueberry cobbler this morning, and that's what I had for breakfast. I know, not exactly the healthiest, but it was good right out of the oven. This cobbler recipe, I should never have started making it because it is so simple. And if you want to hear it, I'll tell you, because it's like 5 ingredients. If you want to hear it, I'll tell you, and you can write it down. It's called skillet cobbler. You take 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk, and 1 cup of self-rising flour. Yeah, I put it in the mail to you this morning. And, 1 stick of butter. So while I take my stick of butter and put it on low because you want to melt it in your, hopefully, cast iron skillet. That's what I use mine. It has to be an oven-proof skillet. I guess you could do it in a Dutch oven. I don't know. Anyway, so you melt your butter, and then you mix 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of self-rising flour, and 1 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla, of course. You don't have to do the vanilla. I mean, I don't know. To me, it doesn't make any difference, but so that's it. A cup of self-rising flour, cup of sugar, cup of milk, and vanilla, teaspoon. And 1 stick of butter. You melt the stick of butter in the cast iron skillet on the stove. Preheat your oven to 350. Then you take, and this part's very important, after the butter's melted, you take and pour the batter in the cast iron pan over the butter. Don't stir it, just pour it in there. Then you take whatever fruit you want. You can take fresh fruit, you can take pie filling fruit, canned fruit, frozen fruit. I had frozen peaches, a few frozen peaches left over, and some dried blueberries this morning, and I just stuck them in there. So anyway, you pour the batter in the frying pan, and then you take your fruit and you just sprinkle it around. Don't stir it. And then you stick it in the oven at 350, takes about an hour. So the edges turn out real, you know, crispy chewy. Does that make sense? Crispy chewy. And, oh, it's good. It's really good. And so easy. Yeah, very easy to do. And you can use any fruit, any kind of fruit. Like I said, this morning I had some leftover frozen peaches and I had dry blueberries. And so I put the peaches all around and sprinkled the blueberries in it, stuck it in the oven for an hour, and that's what I had for breakfast. Don't judge. It's not any worse than a donut or any other pastry, right? Oh, wait a minute. What have I got here? I don't want to waste anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that too. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with it either, Kat. Like I said, it's not any worse than a pastry. Yeah, except for the whole stick of butter. Yeah. But you know, it's a big, I mean, I use a 12-inch, 10-inch, my biggest cast iron pan. It's not the 12-inch, it's the one that's just the next size bigger. So yeah. And I'll probably have it for the next couple of days for breakfast. But, so today, after I get done here, I got out last night a chicken breast. And it's a really thick chicken breast. Hey, Kristen, how are you? It's a really thick chicken breast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what'd you call it, fillet? Cut it into thin strips, and then I'm going to chicken fry it. And I'm going to try chicken frying it in my air fryer, because I did chicken fried legs and thighs in the air fryer the other day. Turned out really good. And it didn't take very long at all. Not long at all. And I didn't have to heat up the entire house. Because, you know, it's pretty hot out there right now. And my poor AC is, I know I'll be getting my electric bill pretty soon and my gas bill. I don't even want to think about what it's going to be. All right, so that's some more ephemera for this little puppy. Now what else? What else? Okay, so here we go. Here is, it does get a good crust. It's crispy but chewy at the same time. Does that make sense? Delicious. So here we have it. Oops, this folds out, and I left it a writing space. I don't know, I might go back and do some more embellishment on that. And then this is a pocket. Three jumble pockets, I call them. They go every which way. You know, if Kat's still in here, I like your idea, Kat, of scanning them in and then printing them off, because I can print off however many copies I want. Genius. I may have to do that. And I may start making available my master boards as well again, if I can do that. Because sitting there and feeding in the pages one at a time was just not my thing. I think I'm going to do this and make this a big pocket. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try it. I don't know. I've never scanned with this Epson. It certainly has the capability, but, and then I don't know how much space it's going to take up on my computer. I have so many pictures. Oh my gosh, I keep going back and deleting, but you know, I've got like almost 10,000 pictures. I guess that's what happens when you have 11 grandkids and 6 great-grandkids, soon to be 7. Okay. It is ready for the cover. Let me see here. Kind of want to make sure that I have the butterfly on the front side. See you later, cat. So, all right, I think I got a plan in my head. Problem is, I need to go over and cut the chipboard, and I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to put that on hold for now. And I think what I'm going to do is clean up a little bit here, and then I'm going to go and grab my inks, and we may do a couple of master boards with ink today. Get all this stuff out of the way because the ink can get a little bit messy. All right, let me grab some stuff. Some other ones. Wheel the ink over here. where is my... This ink can get quite messy, so I'm putting down some newspaper. I don't plan on being that messy, but you know, it could happen. Couple of brushes. Let's do some water in here to rinse them off, because I know I'm going to need that. Okay. Pick a color, any color. Yellow. Oh gosh, do I even have any yellow? I like this one too. Yellow, yellow, kiss a fellow. Mulled cider. That's a red. Okay, I'm pretty sure I don't, well maybe, oh, flickering candle. I think flickering candle might be a yellow color. That's a mica stain. All right, if I'm going to use micas, I've got to get this out of the way because I need my heat gun. Let's see what this flickering candle is. I probably should swatch these so that I can remember. Because sometimes the way they look isn't exactly what the color turns out to be. I like old paper too. In fact, sometimes it's not even close. Nope, nope. Get it there. That's yellowish. Okay. There's that. Someday I might get a pallet. I want one of those ceramic pallets. But they've been too expensive. I can't do that. I keep looking at the thrift stores thinking I'll find one. Okay, there's that. This is saltwater taffy. Ooh, that sounds good. I haven't had saltwater taffy in years. Isn't that a pretty color? I love it. One of the things I was thinking about was doing something like this. Hey Miriam, how are you doing today? Don't want to waste any ink. So I'm going to do as much of this as I can. Okay. And we're going to go on to the next color. I don't want to use that for that. I'm going to use paper towel. I think it soaks it up a little bit better. I'm not a real fan of using paper towel, but all right, let's go with the old paper. No, let's not do the old paper. I want to do the crushed olive. Yeah, ooh, that's a pretty color too. All right, let's see how this is gonna work. Because I was thinking it might be a little bit too big, but maybe not. Not too bad. And we got a little rectangle that we can do in the old paper. Actually, I want to use more. I want to use more of that. Let's see. A painter I am not. I've been dabbling in watercolor here lately. This is definitely not watercolor, but some of the techniques kind of flow. I think I'm out of color over there. I think I can just put a little water in it and stretch it a little more. Oh yeah. Okay, there's that. Now let's wipe this out. I really need a ceramic palette. I really, really do. I've also been on the lookout because other things that make good ceramic palettes are like deviled egg trays. If I could find one of those. I had one, and I went to looking for it, and apparently I have tossed it or, you know, put it in the Goodwill. Oh, thanks. It's kind of abstract. I'm not really an abstract woman, but oh, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not supposed to shake them up and down, but I'm not hearing the thing in it. Okay. Yeah, I'm vowing to myself that I will use my inks. At least once a week on some project. I have no idea. I think I have one of those, but you know what? It's kind of big. I need something with smaller, with smaller like wells, you know, because I don't want to put a whole lot of ink. I've got one that's like 4, which would be like 4 of these. I might have to look into that. Yeah, like a relish tray. I'll keep looking at thrift stores and see if I can find something. And the other thing I want to be able to use, which I might today, is my chalk. This stamp really soaked it up pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we should get a little bit of traditional stuff in here, shall we? Let me get a more traditional stamp. I'm eyeing, oh, excuse me. Oh, that was my toe. That was my toe, it hurt. I'm eyeing this drawer that's open over here. So somebody used this and didn't clean it up very well. This is one that I got from one of my stashes. A lot of it a lot of the stamps that I get have either been taken really good care of or they're brand new. Which tomorrow, during my D-stash, you'll see I have a plethora of stamps. And I have some die cuts, and I have stamps, and I have some tools, and I have stamps. You get the picture? Yeah. All right, let's see how this does. Ooh, it's not picking it up real well, but it's not laying it down. Maybe what I need to do is brush it on, huh? I think that'll work better. Oh, I couldn't tell you. I've got so many. There's so much there. A lot. And some of them are die cuts that have stamps that go with them, you know, where you stamp and then, or you take the die cut it, and then you take the stamp and stamp over it. So a lot of them are Geminis. Stampin' Ups. I think I've got some Sizzix die cuts in there. And I've got ink. I've got a lot of ink. Stampin' Up ink. And another brand, I've got a lot of another brand called Journey, which I had never heard of before, but that's not it's not unusual. Oh, let me tell you, one of the unusual sets of stamps that I have is the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Yep. And I've got a couple of Mickey Mouse ones. So, yeah. If you're into the cartoony stuff. I don't know. What do you think? Should I call it done? I think I might do a few more of these. So yesterday, the mowers came. Now, my sunflowers out there have been, well, in Texas, you know, we have two growing seasons. We have a spring growing season and then a fall growing season. In the summertime, a lot of our gardens just kind of dry up. So my sunflowers have kind of you know, they've bloomed and they've gone to seed, and so the stalks are getting pretty yucky looking. So I've been cutting them down, and I filled up 3 trash cans, and I took the ones that I couldn't get in the trash cans, I took and put on the side of the fence over here, so that when I get done, when the trash can guy comes tomorrow, I can then, no telling what time he'll come. It'll probably be Friday before I actually get to do anything with the stalks that we're laying out there. But anyhow, yeah. So I laid them in a pile, nice neat pile. Well, yesterday the mower guy came, and it would not have bothered me in the least if they would have hauled it off. I didn't ask them to. But when I noticed that they were no longer by the fence, I thought, oh, well, they must have hauled it off. Okay, that's fine. Well, this morning I'm out there watering, and I'm looking through the fence, and I have a piece of my property that is not, well, I've got a lot of my property that's not fenced. But I'm looking through and I'm like, there's the sunflower stalks. What are they doing shoved on the side of my property? I was livid. I've asked, they have actually taken branches and thrown them back there before, and I told them, no, that's not acceptable. Don't be throwing trash back there. And what did they do? They threw trash back there. Yeah. So I texted him this morning and was like, I'm not real happy with this. And the other thing is that I'm not real happy with him about is, I had told him I have a large gate on the south side of my property that it just doesn't work very well. It's falling apart. It just doesn't work very well. I would only use it if I really needed to get something large out on that end of my property. And I told him from the beginning, don't use that gate because it's wonky and it's gonna, it's falling apart. So it was okay for the first few times, and then the next thing I know, they're using that gate. So I'm like, okay, just keep your mouth shut, just keep your mouth shut. Well, I let him have it about that this morning too, in the text. I was like, and also, I asked you not to use that gate. I said, do not use that gate because it's falling apart. They used it until the boards on the what do you call it, pickets on the bottom cracked and left big holes where my dogs could get through. And then it's a mess. It's just a mess. And then instead of shoring it up on the side that doesn't open, so that if when the wind blows, it would blow against what has been shored up, they shored it up on the inside by just placing some boards there and some other boards. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. So anyhow, what do you do? What do you do? I guess, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm just not a happy camper. And if they quit me, then I have to find somebody else. And that's the kicker, right? Because trying to find somebody to come out here to mow, they want to charge you an arm and a leg. Oh, and the other thing is, there are at least 2 other folks who have started using him because they saw him working at my spot. 2 other neighbors. So he's gotten more business. from me. And you know, we have a little neighborhood thing. It's like, okay, who do you use for mowing? And I've put him out there. And I'm sure that that's one of the reasons why they started using him. I'm pissed. I am so angry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get off of it. I'll get off of my high horse on that, huh? Y'all don't want to hear my complaints. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this out because I think I'm kind of done with this. Kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. I'm still thinking that I want to do a little smear on it. Oh gosh, yes. I can't even imagine living in an apartment and having these issues. This is just plain water. Okay, that kind of mutes it. I kind of like it muted a little. I don't know if y'all can see it. How it just kind of muted it a little. And then I need to get my little trusty rusty heat gun here to set it. Everything that I understand about mica and distressed oxide, this is distressed oxide. Yeah, right. We're too busy to go help Nana. Mom, we got enough going on. We don't need to be out there helping you. You should never have moved out there. I've been here 20 years, folks. They're the ones that moved, not me. Yeah. Then I learned from my sister that my kids have been complaining to her that whenever they do come and see me, I've always got something for them to help me with. They take bets. Okay, so what's Mom going to have us do now? Ungrateful little turkeys. It's not like I call them every day to help. Sheesh. Sheesh. Yeah, I've got a screen that needs some work on it. My screened-in porch. But I ain't asking. I ain't asking. Nope, I'm not going to ask them for nothing. So that's an interesting one. Let's see what it looks like whenever I copy it onto some ivory paper. So now I'm going to go get another piece of paper and play with my chalk. I'm gonna go fix some lunch. And come back and get ready and cut the chipboard for this you put these away. Where's the lid to this one? It's new. Oh, there it is. All right. I don't know if this is a good one to do. Let me see what else I've got over here. Good morning, Cheryl. I am good. How are you doing? Any word yet for your husband? I've been thinking about him and you. It's over here in the, I gotta wash it up after I get done, pile. Okay, I don't want to ask too often, but I do want to check in with you because you're definitely in my prayers on all that. So much going on. We have a family friend. He's the same age as my son's. And his little boy developed a tumor in his brain and has had some eye problems with it and some motor skill issues with it. And this happened when they ended up in the emergency room in California, and so they got him stabilized there, and figured out what all was going on, and then they shipped him. Well, now he's back in Texas. The family came back to Texas, and they didn't ship him. He was able to walk and talk and all that, but nonetheless, he's got a tumor in his brain. And so they checked in this morning he's actually been there a couple of days now for pre-op stuff. But this morning they checked in, and he is in surgery as we speak. So the hopes are that this surgery is going to fix his eyesight and not take away from any of his motor skills. And the child is probably about 12, I think 12. So, and it's going to be an 8-hour surgery. 8 hours. Poor baby. Yes. I know I've got some black in here. Scattered straw. Pumice stone. Tea-dye faded jeans. My lavender. Where's my black? Right there on the bottom. So yeah, this Jacob is his name. Yeah, so he's definitely been on my mind too. And my daughter-in-law's grandpa, who was 90, passed away, and they had his funeral yesterday. It was a graveside funeral. So he is in heaven. He is a wonderful man. He really, a wonderful, wonderful man. Married for, I think, 65 years to his wife, who passed away a couple of years ago. Yes, definitely prayers for little Jacob and his family. Oh gosh. Nicest family. Nice family. He's got an older sister named Claire. I think she's 15. When everybody starts having babies, kind of like, ask me the ages of my great-grandkids. Because they've all had them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm lucky to remember their names. Remember their birthdays? Invite me to a party, I'll remember. Because I don't remember. I barely remember my grandkids' birthdays, Oh yes, I do remember my kiddos' birthdays, that's for sure. Don't we all? How could we forget those? So anyway, just hope he's doing well. The doctors and the surgeons are all doing their thing to help him get better. His parents are very confident in the surgical team, so that's a good thing. Texas Children's Hospital is where they're at. I've heard really good things about them. Sorry. Did they get you all squared away, Anita? I know sometimes I just live in a bubble. You know what? I think I need to put some juice on my walnut stain. Well, good. Good to hear. Yeah, doctor's appointments, man. Sucks when you get to the age that your life revolves around doctor's appointments, isn't it? Hey, Lexi, we're good. I'm good. Hope everybody else is too. We've just been, you know, talking about folks that need prayer and getting better about stuff. So he went in at 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11. So 5 hours. So he's still got 3 more hours on his surgery. I said it was at least an 8-hour surgery. And they're going in through his nose. Isn't that interesting? I don't need this anymore. No, it's not a relative. His family is a friend of the family. Does that make sense? Very strong Christian family. I don't know why I have such trouble opening up this stuff. I think Stampin' Up! Could do better on the easier openings of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's see what we want to do. I think I want to do I'm going to do a little color swatch here. I like that color. Okay, so we're going to go in here and we're going to color the wings of this little little. It's a big dragonfly. I don't think I've ever seen a dragonfly this big in real life. Thank you. I appreciate that. His dad's been sending updates on Facebook. You know, he's been saying, you know, that they feel very confident that everything's going to be okay, but you know, it's your kid. When it's your kid, there's always a bit of angst whenever they get sick. Even if it's just a doctor's appointment sick, you're always a little bit anxious, right? So I remember when Matthew, my youngest, was little, and he had the worst problems with ear infections. So they decided to go in and put tubes in his ears, which was all the rage back then. I don't know if they do that anymore. I haven't heard of it in a while. I haven't heard of it, but then, you know, I'm not in the young mother mode anymore. But the tubes work great. But I remember Dr. Borderlawn came out to pick him, to take him from the pre-op area to the operating room, and he took him from my arms, and I don't know what kind of a look I had on my face, but he looked at me and he says, "It's okay, Mama. We're going to take really good care of him." And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. My baby. And he came out just fine. It was really hilarious because when I went into the recovery room to see him and he woke up and everything, the look on his face was like, wow, I can hear everything. So no telling how long his poor little ears had been so stopped up and kept getting infections. But yeah, I remember that. Scary feeling. And that was just tubes in his ears. Can't even imagine what Jacob's family is going through. Yes, I can. I can only imagine. Though, they're going to be fine. They're going to be just fine. God's got them in their hands. Oh, I was scared. I was scared. You know, when they put your baby under anesthesia, that's no joke. I think it would do better if I wiped it off on something dry. Since this is chalk, I'm trying to wipe it off on a wet cloth, and I don't think that that's going to work too well. Cheryl, have you ever used these chalks? Apparently, not too many people have. I've watched the videos on them. And these I got, you know, secondhand, but it was from a lady that used to be a Stampin' Up! Rep. Well, since then I've gotten 3 other sets like this, and I've sold them. And I'm just curious as to, and they appeared to not even have been used. Okay, that's a pretty color, but I don't think I want it for that. What do I want? I want a greenish color for his body. Now that's more of a gray. All right, well, let's delve into this green. That's really, really green. Oh, really, Rana? So what do you use the chalk for? And Victoria, y'all clue us in. What do you use them for, if not for this kind of a thing? Oh, that's the one. Oh, for smaller things. Okay. Just because you do have to get color a lot. Yeah, you do. You really do. Definitely. You have to go back into the palette quite a few times. So I did a thing the other day. I ordered those Meeden fine tip watercolor brushes. Anybody else have them? Anybody in here do watercolor? I'm dabbling in it. I don't have anything that I would make public yet. But I thought, oh, I like that because they hold more ink. Oh, is that right? Because if colors are pale or muted? Mm. I do too, Anita. In fact, before I started junk journaling, I have several color books in there that oops, was it? Yeah, it was that one. That I have colored on. Sit and watch TV and just color away. Okay, how about a little pinky, or a little this color? Let's see. Yeah, I like that color. It's just a little bit lighter than the darker purple. I know, but Kristen, that's a little bit expensive for me. I can't do that. I got to find one or something similar. I mean, and this is what gets me. So before I knew what that rose-colored palette or rose-shaped palette was, I saw one in the thrift store. Yeah. And I was like, Oh, well, that's interesting. You could put lots of condiments in that. And then I get home and I'm watching the TikTok and they've got them for sale. And I'm like, oh, that's what that was. Well, I went back a few days later to the thrift store to see if they still had them. It was gone. They had it in the where they had their ceramic dishes and stuff. So I guess that's why I thought it was a red. Is this a real red? Yeah, it's a real red. That's why I thought it was a ceramic dish. Crazy, huh? It was gone. I'm sure somebody else realized what it was. Or maybe they bought it thinking it was for condiments. I don't know. Yeah. Buying those brushes, and I got the small set, was quite the investment for me. So we'll see. I'll be playing with those. Not on camera, that's for sure. Because my watercolor skills lack a lot. But it's okay. I'm learning at my old age. Oh, thanks, Kristen. Yeah, let me know. If it gets down to, maybe 15? Okay, let's go with some greens now. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's see, what color was this again? Yeah, let's do this color on the leaves. I have, several creators on here that I have saved their tutorial type videos, and I'll go back whenever I feel like I'm playing and watch them and try to do the techniques that they have. So yeah, when I get done with this, I'll probably end up being a journaling card in somebody's journal. Thinking this wasn't the best one to do. There's too much that's not very detailed. I think that butterfly over there is going to be really fun. Oh, really? I'll have to do that. I put myself on a Zon and Muti fast last month. And I did pretty good. The only thing I got was absolute necessities. Like I ordered some ivory paper. I ordered some what do you call it? Some blades for my paper cutter. So I did pretty good. I did real good. Oh, and my supplements. You know, gotta have those. My vitamins. My vitamins. Yep, it was hard, but I did it. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't beef up my save for later list. Yeah. But now I'll be able to go back and say, now, do I really need / want that? You know? Sometimes I get on this kick of, oh yes, I need that, and then I just order it. And it's so easy to do, right? When you don't have to like go into a store. You know, because when you go into the store, you gotta put your shoes on, get your car keys, drive to the store, find a parking lot, parking space, you know, the whole 9 yards. Where did I find these images? They're stamps. And by the way, if you haven't been in here, tomorrow at noon I will be having a D-stash, and I have got stamps and tools and die cuts and all kinds of things for very, very reasonable prices. And they're not like name brand stamps too. They're not. Okay, I'm gonna go over here to the butterfly because I can. Or maybe I'll do I think I'm gonna do the sunflower. So yeah, you can take any stamp and color it. It doesn't have to just be with ink. Doesn't have to be one-dimensional ink. I'm having too much fun with this, y'all. I'm sorry if I'm boring you. So yeah, tomorrow will be a D-stash. Tonight, Tin Cat is having her D-stash at 6 o'clock Central Time. Mine will be at noon Central Time tomorrow. And Pen Poo is not having a live. And that's all I know. I know she didn't have, do you know what? Yeah, last week Pen Poo had Vacation Bible School and she was teaching preschoolers. So she didn't have a Thursday night. Thursday night was the last day of their Vacation Bible School. So she did not have a live. But I think she did have a D-stash last week. Yes, she did. But that was during the day. It wasn't in the evening. Their VBS was in the evening. Hey, Tammy. I'm just coloring away here. This is chalk from Stampin' Up. A chalk palette from Stampin' Up. And I have not really done this before much. So I'm learning. I think I did one other project. Thank you. And I'm not going to be on here for much longer. I'm going to finish this sunflower up, and I think I'm going to save the rest of it for another time. Y'all know me, I get weary, so chalk into paint. Is it paint? No, it's chalk. It's chalky. Apply with a sponge tip applicator, cotton swab, or stiff paintbrush, then blend. Refills are available for all colors. Please contact your Stampin' Up! Distributor. Get the warning on this. It feels like I'm painting too, Tammy. The warning on this is choking hazard. Avoid contact with eyes, not intended for childbirth use. I guess somebody could take a look at these and think that they're candy. I guess. Okay. Never did I ever think that we would have to have a warning label on such things as Tide Pods, you know? Really, people? I mean, the people that would get into them and think they were candy aren't old enough to read, so why would you put a label on it? I don't know. All right, I want to get this little ladybug here. So this actually came, like, this is a used set. It actually came with some Q-tip like applicators, but the applicators were they were not good. They were just, yeah, they were toast. But these pens were also in there, so it says stiff paintbrush, cotton swab or stiff paintbrush. Okay. I'm probably using the wrong tool, right? Is that what you've been trying to tell me, Victoria? But you know, since I got these, I'm gonna be experimenting with them and using them. So now the green, and then I'm going to call it a day. I think this is the green that I want, right? What about this green? Oh, I like that green better. I actually even bought Q-tips to use these, but I couldn't see the Q-tips getting into the little lines that I wanted. Does that make sense? Okay, I want to do a little more brown around the Okie doke. Hey, Gail. I think I'm done for today. I'm going to rest a while. Tomorrow at noon, Central Time, we'll be doing the D-stash. I'm going to go back in at some point in time and do something with this. I'm just not real sure what to do with it. I think I want to make it look like stained glass. Then, of course, I have the butterfly to do. Thank you. Thank you all for joining in. I hope God blesses you today so that you can be a blessing to somebody else. So, thank you, Tammy. Have a good rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow at noon Central Time.